Hey lovelies, welcome to another video, and today we have quite a bit to cover. I haven't filmed in forever. I have my 34-week growth scan. I have a midwife appointment over the phone that just created so much chaos and drama in regards to my care plan and messed everything up. Then I've got like obstetric appointments from midwife appointments, so that's another interesting thing. My pregnancy symptoms have gone crazy. Yeah, everything has gone crazy, so I'm breathless already. Let's get into the video. Okay, so first things first, let's start with the growth scan at 34 weeks, which I just feel is the most, the most important and interesting and just all that kind of stuff before I go into the whole drama, and I'm not even going to go there right now. So I went and had my scan at 34 weeks. This had been planned ever since my previous scan, which I had at 28 weeks. Just as a precaution to double check baby girl's heart, as she does have a right-sided aortic arch. It is an isolated right-sided aortic arch, so there is no other issue whatsoever other than the arch just being on the other side of where it should be. We had the scan done. At the previous scan, she had been measuring at around 1,200 grams. Of course, this is all an estimate. Let's keep that in mind. She was at the 49th percentile at the time. So this time round, she was measuring 2,600 grams at 87th percentile. So she had a huge leap, a huge growth spurt. She is growing and right on track to be just like her sister, who was practically 4 kilos at birth. Fun times for this mama. In regards to her heart is perfectly fine other than the right-sided aortic arch. They saw nothing else. Her heart is growing normally. Everything is growing normally, connected normally. And the fact that she is growing so well also indicates that everything is perfectly fine. However, what we will be doing is that baby girl will be getting a scan as soon as she's born, just to make sure we can see her little heart practically after she's out of my belly, and they can actually see it even better. Another interesting thing at the scan was that baby was measuring 5 days ahead. I do think that that has to do with the fact that she is a big baby. I don't think she's actually 5 days ahead. Angel always measured on time, I have to say, but you know, ultrasounds can be off. I mean, a few days up, a few days down at this stage, especially so late in pregnancy. I don't really think she's 5 days ahead, so like nothing is changing. They don't really change your dates unless I think it's like a 2-week difference or something like that. So she is measuring 5 days ahead, probably because she's a big bub. So I'm perfectly I know I'm gonna have another big baby. It's just my luck. So the next day after the ultrasound, I also had a doctor's appointment, specifically with an OB, so obstetric appointment, instead of with the midwives, since midwives technically can't read scan results. If that makes sense. So what he said was that he was very, very happy with her growth. He was very happy that she was growing. She was going to be a big bub, definitely over the 3.5 kilo mark when she's born. So depending on when she's born, if she's born at 38 weeks, she'll probably be around 3.5 kilos. If she's born at 40, she'll be at least 4 kilos. So fun times, as I said. Now she's also sitting very, very low, like extremely low, and even during the ultrasound, the tech had to kind of really go down there in order to measure her head. So she's quite low, and apparently that's some babies just do that, and everything is really just preparing for birth at this stage. The doctor said it was perfectly normal, and she is she's turned on her side, so her spine is on my right side, meaning she is turning slowly and eventually will be in place to be born. So things are happening. So moving on to the drama, as it is linked to a few things the doctor told me at the obstetric appointment. I had a midwife appointment for my 32-week appointment, basically, which actually happened over the phone because they contacted me a day earlier randomly and asked me if that was okay, that they call me in 10 minutes and have the appointment over the phone, because for whatever reason they didn't have time to fit me in the clinic the next day, even though I had an appointment. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever. I mean, if you think it's okay to have a phone appointment with me at 32 weeks, well, practically 33 weeks. I was 32 weeks and 5 days at the time. So I spoke with this midwife and we kind of discussed a few things, such as the fact that my Braxton Hicks were kind of going crazy, that I felt baby was very low, I was feeling a lot of pressure. Like I started explaining certain things and just kind of questioning whether, you know, like, is there a stage where I should be concerned, like if I'm feeling her way too low, or if like Braxton Hicks are just kind of like never ending. And she just kept insisting everything was normal, everything is fine, perfectly fine. Yeah, I felt like she was quite dismissive and just not, it was not sitting well with me. The whole phone appointment was just not sitting well with me. So we reached near the end of the phone call and I asked her if my record indicated when I would be getting my 34-week scan, just so that I could know, etc., if it was planned in or if I had to do something. And she immediately went into full-blown panic mode. Over the phone, speaking to a pregnant woman, this midwife went into full-on panic mode. And she started going through my record, my file, and just looking through it and reading that baby has an isolated right-sided aortic arch. And she was just like, you shouldn't be with midwives, you should be with obstetrics, and I don't know why you're not with doctors, and why are you with midwives? And just, she went crazy over the phone, not explaining anything to me whatsoever other than the fact that she panicked because she saw something on the file and she did not understand why I wasn't with doctors instead of midwives. And yeah, so I'm sitting on the other side just kind of like, is there something that they haven't told me? Like, has there been some mistake along the way and I haven't done something right? Like, what's going on? So she goes into full-on panic mode. She tells me that she'll book in my ultrasound straight away for 34 weeks, that I need to immediately contact the, as soon as they contact me for the ultrasound, I was to immediately contact the, like the people in charge of booking appointments and change my appointments to obstetrics and see the doctor after the ultrasound, and that, oh my god, what on earth am I doing? I tried to explain to her that I had been cleared to be with midwives, both from the doctors at the hospital where I did I got the initial diagnosis for baby girl, as well as from the hospital I was giving birth. She didn't really care. she just panicked and it was really, really crazy. So she hangs up and kind of leaves me in this state of stress and just, yeah. And as I said, I was almost 33 weeks pregnant. I feel like that is just so wrong to do at that stage, especially over the phone. So I'm in panic mode at this point because I'm thinking, what if they didn't tell me something and why did she freak out so much? This was on a Friday. So the weekend passed and I actually got a call Friday night for the ultrasound. So they booked my ultrasound at 34 weeks on the Monday, exactly at 34 weeks, and I was supposed to call and change my doctor's appointment. I actually received a call on Monday before I could even contact them myself, and I was informed that all my midwife appointments had been cancelled and I now had obstetrics appointments only, including a huge gap of appointments in between. So from 34 weeks until almost 38 weeks, I had no appointment whatsoever. Like, no one was gonna see me. I was kind of like, I felt my blood pressure go up. I felt like, I'm even like, look at this, I'm even getting flustered just thinking about it again, even though I've solved it all now. It was so upsetting and I was so stressed and just, I hung up at that point thinking, why? Like, she went and changed everything completely. There was no new information. There was no new medical information. There was nothing to make her change everything when I had been cleared twice. So what I ended up doing, because I just ended up like not sleeping that night and kind of going crazy. The next day, which was Tuesday, I contacted this woman who changed my appointments once more. Not the midwife. This was another midwife who was in charge of appointments. Lovely lady, so sweet, so just, she was so helpful, I swear. And I just asked her, I said to her, look, I'm extremely stressed. I cannot possibly wait until my ultrasound and doctor's appointment next week to sort this out. I need to understand why this has happened, because if it's something someone hasn't told me, if there was a mistake made from like my scan at Monash, I don't know. So what happened was we kind of went through all the appointments and figured out that according to the policy of the hospital, high-risk pregnancies are automatically switched to obstetrics. Now, my pregnancy was technically high risk, but not exactly high risk. So the pregnancy itself is not high risk. There's just the issue with baby girl's heart, which is a minor issue, not really an issue, that has to do with after she's born, we have to monitor and get her an ultrasound and just look into it clearly on a, with the doctor, like a peds doctor and that kind of thing. Nothing to do with my personal pregnancy, my birth, nothing to do with me, basically. So there was nothing that the obstetrics would have done differently to a midwife, basically. However, the policy apparently really got to this midwife and she just completely flipped it and made everyone change everything. So what the woman of the phone told me on that day, on Tuesday, when I tried to figure things out, was come to your appointment on Monday, do your ultrasound, come to your appointment on Tuesday, speak with the doctor, and as long as the doctor once more clears you for midwives, you will come and find me specifically, and we will sort out your appointments. So, backtracking again, back to my obstetric appointment on Tuesday. I spoke with the doctor who once again told me that I was good to go with midwives. He said there really was no difference between me being in obstetrics or midwifery. It really had there was no impact on the baby. She was growing perfectly. Everything looked absolutely fine. He actually said, there's nothing different that I can do in regards to your pregnancy. You don't need any more ultrasounds. You don't need any more monitoring other than normal pregnancy monitoring that midwives can provide, and you can have the birth you want. It doesn't make a difference. So I was cleared for the third time to be with midwives, and I had to then sit down with this woman and sort out my appointments, which have all now been moved back to midwives. And she actually apologized for changing them over so quickly and for listening to this other midwife, despite me explaining that the doctor had cleared me, there was no issue whatsoever. It was insane. It was a bit insane because she just kind of went on she just panicked. And then even the doctor said that sometimes there are certain midwives who are just uncomfortable with anything that might not be 100% low risk, any minor thing. And this has nothing to do with the pregnancy itself. So it's clearly as soon as she's born, pediatrician has to see her. That has nothing to do with how I give birth. So, with that being said, I sorted through my appointments. Doctor was happy with me going on with midwives. He was happy with how baby girl was growing. Everything seems perfectly fine. The fact that she's super low, the fact that my Braxton Hicks contractions are constant, and pushing her down is normal. It's kind of like my body preparing, baby preparing. Everything is just gearing up to go and, do things. So in regards to my symptoms, kind of going from the Braxton Hicks, as I said, Braxton Hicks have been just insane. The past week especially, they've actually reached a point where at times they're painful. Not oh my god, I can't breathe painful, but just it gets, my belly gets so tight, it's just so uncomfortable, and it even causes this light sense of pain that sometimes I don't even realize my belly's tight until I feel that little pinch of pain and I touch my belly and it's just gone rock hard. And sometimes it gets so rock hard that it's just so uncomfortable. It's insane. At the same time as the Braxton Hicks happen, baby girl also kind of I can feel her being pushed down, and she kind of starts punching and kicking and just, and according to the doctor, vagina punches are a thing. So I'm getting all of those. She just hits me down there like crazy. It is insane. It is insane. It's not even, I had I had this thing, this lightning crotch thing with Angel, but this is on a whole other level. There are times when I'll sit down and it'll be uncomfortable because I literally feel like something is pushing to get out of down there. You know what I mean? So she's extremely, extremely low, getting ready. Contractions are going nuts, and I'm currently 34 weeks and 4 days? Yes, 34 weeks and 4 days as I'm filming this. Fun times. So as far as other symptoms at this stage of pregnancy, I feel like my symptoms had kind of softened out and now they're just kind of going crazy again. So I have insomnia, oh my god. I can't sleep, I can't fall asleep. It is just beyond me, and when I do sleep, I still wake up every hour and a half to go to the bathroom because peeing is now my new hobby, apparently. Oh my gosh, I'm constantly, I need to be near a bathroom constantly. It's a thing. I'm also super, super thirsty all the time. So that kind of, it doesn't help because, I constantly need to pee. I'm constantly thirsty. Oh my god. So generally sleep has become extremely difficult, what with the constant need to pee. My hip pain has just gone out of control. I'm still wearing the belly band. I wear it for most of the day. If I didn't wear the belly band, the weight and the way she's falling and the way she's so low, it's actually painful. I can't. She got heavy really quickly, and I think that just strained me quite a bit. So without my belly band, I would be in trouble. Another thing that's happening quite a bit, like it actually started a few days ago and it's just amping up, is my discharge. That's also going nuts right now. Like, I feel like I didn't really have that much discharge throughout the pregnancy, and now suddenly it's just like, boom, I'm here. And that is also another sign that your body is actually getting ready for labor. Not yet. It's not like one of those things where like, oh, you're having a baby next week. It's just like preparation is in full on, like, we're getting ready over here. My breasts are also getting super, super tender and starting to swell, which is another preparation thing. And as far as swelling is concerned, my ankles and feet. I didn't have this much swelling with Angel, like I think barely, maybe any, like my feet a little bit. This time around, this is unbelievable. Of course, I do move around a lot more because of Angel this time around. Whilst with my first pregnancy, I was pretty much sitting down all day. Pretty much, like 90% of the time, I would say. Whilst now, it's the opposite. I mean, lately I have been sitting down because standing up for more than 5 or 10 minutes is actually uncomfortable for me. My back starts hurting, my belly starts hurting, everything starts hurting. But yeah, it's my feet and my ankles. I have tangles. It's like the calves, ankles, and feet are just one mass. And the final, like, you know, well, it's not a symptom technically, it's just like, you know, baby girl is constantly moving. Like, she's constantly kicking and punching and pushing. She's more of a pusher than a kicker. I keep saying that. She doesn't just like go boop, 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 boop. She literally pushes out and just stays there constantly, to the point where I'm getting stretch marks in the places that she prefers to push out at. Like, it's beyond me. It's like, and it can actually get really, really uncomfortable because she has a tendency of, what I feel she's doing basically is like stretching. So she'll stretch her legs upwards and push upwards, and she'll also stretch her hands downwards. That is the most uncomfortable sensation I have ever felt. I feel like the moment she's ready to go, she's just gonna burst the waters and literally climb out. Like, I don't even know. So yeah, and with all of that lovely stuff, I have finally started preparations. It has taken me forever to start getting ready for this baby, and the fact that my body is starting to get ready, I'm automatically like in nesting mode. Like, I need to get things ready. We have started setting up the nursery. It's a shared nursery, so I will be doing a tour once that is done. I'm starting to like sort out her clothes, wash things, sort out things. Things are happening. I need to prep my hospital bag, my birth plan, because I feel, considering what happened with the midwife, I feel like I definitely need a birth plan. Just writing down things that are important to me, because the more I think about it, the more I remember things in regards to my first pregnancy that I just wasn't really happy about. And I just kind of want to make sure that, you know, I'm very clear as to what I want and what I don't want. It's just, you know, it's kind of crazy. But things are happening, and I'm gonna have a baby soon, and the reality just kind of, yeah. I mean, you would think a huge belly. Let me show you my belly. Let me just, hold on. Okay. Look at this. Oh my, okay. Look at that. That is 34 weeks and 4 days, people. My belly is just out of this world. I can't move. So yeah, I'm trying to get ready, and I can't move. I get tired super easily, but I'm also trying to prepare everything and just get ready. But anyway, that's all for this video. I could go on for ages. You guys know that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.